Yeah, so let's looking at the lower body, but with the aim of opening the hips, opening the hip flexors to try to alleviate backs. So let's start sitting on the mat. Let's just rock from side to side and feel those seat bones into the floor. Pushing the right side down, pushing the left side, pushing the right side, pushing the left side, and then shimmy yourself so that you're in the middle and feel both seat bones into the ground. And then just look at your legs. So make sure that your hip, you will go to your hips and see the middle point of each hip and follow those lines down so they're parallel. The knees are in line with the hips and then the feet are in line with those knees. And check that your toes are pointing straight up. And then just pull those toes up towards your nose. And then just push those toes hard away from you. Pull those toes up towards your nose. And push those toes hard away. Take the toes to the left. Take the toes to the right. So Sandra, start with having your legs straight. So I haven't got a straight back at the moment. I'm just sitting, but my legs are straight. Put your knees down on the floor. Take the toes to the left. Take the toes to the right. Push those toes straight away and push those ankles so they're as flat as they can be, as open as they can be, as extended. And then pull those toes up towards the nose. And then take them to the left, or take them apart from each other and pull those toes towards each other. Get those ankles really working. Wide apart with those feet, around in a circle. Wide apart with those feet, around in a circle. Wide apart with those feet, around in a circle, and then the other way. 2 circles like that. And then relax your feet. Now you can soften your knees and pull your tummy forward onto your thighs. So we bend forwards onto the front bottom. Got those knees bent, pulling forwards onto the tummy, onto the thighs, holding onto the ankles, holding onto the shins. And then stretch that upper body, keeping those knees bent, pulling forwards with your body, using your feet or your shins to pull yourself. So I'm really trying to pull my chest down onto my thighs. I've still got my eyes up looking at my toes, so I'm not having a big bend in my upper back or my neck yet. And then I can just gently bend down forward with that head, with that back. And I can push that right knee down towards the floor and release, and push that left knee down towards the floor and release, and push both knees down towards the floor, just as far as they feel comfortable, and release. And then let those hands slide back, and you're going to bring your body up 1 vertebra at a time to straight. Big breath in, pop those hands on the floor behind, lift that body up if your lower back feels a bit tender, lift that chest up, pulling those elbows together, pulling that chest up high, breathing in, breathing out, take the chin up to the sky, squeeze those shoulder blades together, and then bring that chin all the way down into the chest. All the way down to the chest, eyes to the floor, and swing that head around so that you're looking to the right-hand side of that right leg, pushing those shoulders away, pushing those fists into the floor. And take that head to the center, and take it all the way over to the left side of the left leg, pushing those hands into the floor, pushing the shoulders away, really stretching. And then bring those eyes back to the center, pulling that chin down, and then taking that chin all the way up to the sky. Breathing in, push that chest up, lean back on those hands a little bit. Stretch through that neck, and then bring that head all the way back down again. And take it to the left side of the left leg, pushing that right ear away from that right shoulder. So I'm lifting my right ear upwards, away from the shoulder, pushing that shoulder away. And then come back to the center and turning round to the right side of the left leg, and pulling that left ear away from that left shoulder, pushing that left hand away. And then bring those eyes back to center. Put the hands on the leg, bring those eyes up to horizontal. Breathing in, soften the knees, breathing down, out, rolling down, bringing the tummy onto the thighs. So my lower back feels a little bit spasmy through this at the minute. So I'm just gently pulling my tummy onto my thighs, gently releasing my shoulders, gently pulling my head down so I go into a stretch, but I'm not making any part of my back stretch or spasm or tingle or tension more than the other. Pulling myself forward, just stretching, visualizing the tailbone, the bones through the pelvis, the bones at the top of the pelvis, all the way through that lower back, stretching through that middle back, stretching through those ribs, pulling them away from each other, pulling that head, the top of the head towards my toes, so I'm lengthening. Breathing in, push those knees to the floor, breathing out, sit yourself up. Okay, bring your roller in. Bring your roller in. Lifting yourself up. Grab a tennis ball as well while you're up, Susie. Leaning back onto that roller. Resting those lower ribs on the roller, breathing in. Breathing out, soften those knees. And let that upper body stretch. Take the head in the hands if you need. Stretch over the roller. Breathing in, breathing out. Lengthen over the roller. Breathing in, breathing out. Rest that head, top of the head on the floor. And then bring that chin into the chest and bring that head up. Move that roller up towards the shoulders a bit more. Breathing in. Breathing out, lengthen all the way over that roller. Pushing the chest up high. Breathing in. Breathing out, stretching through these ribs, stretching the ribs through the tummy. Let that head go to the floor. And then bring that chin into the chest. Bring yourself up. And move that roller up to the shoulders. Breathing in. On the out breath, push that chest up high, stretching over. Pop those fingertips or those knuckles on the floor above your head, and you can just slide those hands away. And you can bring those hands back in. Take the head in the hands, bring that chin up, lift that head up, and move that roller up a little bit higher. Rest the head on the back of the roller, so my top of my head's just off the floor. Take those arms up over the head. And let gravity pull them. Your shoulders, you're resting on your shoulders, so you might not get your fingers on the floor if your arms are straight. And then just rock that head left, rock it right, rock it left, rock it right, and leave it in the center. Bring those fingers back, take hold of the head in the hands, lift up the bum, and roll that roller down towards those bottom ribs. Breathing out as you go down, and then pulling it all the way back up to the top ribs. And all the way down to those bottom ribs. And leaning onto that right hand side. Take the head in the hands if you need. Rest the bum on the floor if your lower back's delicate. All the way down to those bottom ribs. Down. Just on the edge, on the side of your back. All the way down. And all the way back up and back to the center. All the way up to the neck. Through that thoracic, keeping that bum low down towards those bottom ribs. And then back up and then leaning on that left hand side. All the way up through that, or to the back of the shoulder. And then all the way down. Rest the bum on the floor if you need. Down through those bottom ribs. And then all the way back up. And then pop your bum on the ground. Stretch one more time over that roller. Breathing in. Breathing out, pushing that chest up high. And then lifting that head up. Using those elbows, lift yourself up off the roller. And then bring the roller, move your bum back on the mat so your feet are at the end. Bring the roller under your knees. Okay, bring the roller under your knees. So we're going to do that sacroiliac joint stretch. So feet flat, lay yourself back on the floor, bring the roller into your bottom, hold on to it with your fingers. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, push them onto the floor and slide them on the floor down towards the waist. Breathing in. Flatten that back into the ground and tilt that pelvis. And then arch that lower back, tilting the pelvis so the tailbone goes down, and then lifting the tailbone up, pushing the tailbone down, lifting the tailbone up, pushing the tailbone down, lifting the tailbone up. And then relax, bring those feet in towards the roller, pushing off the heels, balls of the feet soft on the floor, shoulders back and down. Lift that body straight up and bring that roller in under that, onto that pelvis. So resting the roller on the pelvis on the roller. Now draw the core in and pull the waistband down towards the floor. Lengthen that head and neck. Have those arms resting on the roller. And then you're just going to drop that left knee out to the side and pull it back. Out to the side and pull it back. Out to the side, to the right side of your hip lifts up off the roller. And then when you bring the knee back in, the right side goes back level with the left. Pushing that, dropping that left knee down, holding it there. Now drive the back of that hip into the roller, the back of that pelvis. So we're pushing harder on that side. And if you put your hands on the front edge of the pelvis, you can feel it moving in shear to itself. And then bring that knee back up. Drop that right leg out to the side. Bring it back in. Drop it out to the side and just let the hips sort of roll. Drop that knee out to the side. Let that pelvis just roll. Drop the knee out to the side, hold it there. And now drive this right hip into the roller and release. Drive it in and release. Drive it in and release. Drive it in and release. Drive in and release. Drive in and release. Come back up. Right, draw that tummy down towards the floor. Get that pubic bone a bit higher. Make sure your tummy muscles are lengthened. So hip flexor stretch. Stretch that right leg out straight, keeping the heel on the floor. Now pull that lower back down towards the ground. And feel that stretch through that hip flexor. Lengthening that leg, pulling that lower back to the ground. So we've got the stretch at the hip joint. We're holding the pelvis. There's no arch in that lower back. Pull that lower back to the ground. My tummy button is engaged. I'm pulling the top of the pelvis onto the roller, pushing the heel of the right foot away, stretching that hip. You can put your hand on it, you can feel that hip joint stretch. Bring that leg back in. Take that left leg out straight. Pull the lower back down towards the floor. Keep the shoulders on the floor. Don't let them hunch up. Lengthen that left leg out straight. Pulling that shoulder down. And you can feel the hip flex. You can feel the difference. So I'm tighter on the left. Some of you might be tighter on the right. Really use those tummy muscles. Bring that left knee back up. Extend that right leg out straight again. Pull that roller in towards, that tummy button in towards the back. Pull the waistband towards the back of the roller so you stretch. Take that right arm all the way over your head. Reach that right arm away and feel that stretch down the right side of the body. Really reaching. Really reaching, breathing in on the out breath. Bring that knee back in, pulling that tummy button down, no arching of the lower back. So if your lower back's delicate, make sure you're really keeping it rounded, not arched. Slide that left leg out, feel the stretch through that left side, push that left arm up over the head, reaching it away, stretching through that left side of the body. Feel that stretch. And then bring that arm back in, bring that leg back in. Bring that right knee up off the ground, bring that left knee up off the ground, so they're just off, so you're resting on the back of the pelvis. Breathing in, bring those knees down in towards the chest, so we're rounding that lower back. Take those legs up straight, push them up over your head, push those knees straight. Push those knees straight. Lift the back up and move the roller a bit higher to the waist. And then you can gently hold the roller with one hand, gently put the other hand behind those calves and pull those knees down towards your face with those legs straight. If you can use both hands, but the roller might disappear. So just stretching those hamstrings, point those toes, flex those feet. Point those toes, flex those feet. Point those toes, take hold of the roller and keep hold of it, flex those feet, bend those knees. Take those knees back above the hip, lift those knees up, feet up, so the knees at 45 degrees. We're just going to drop that left leg out to the side, keeping control of your tummy, bring it back up. Drop that right leg out to the side, keeping control of the tummy, don't arch the back, bring that back up. Drop both knees out to the side. Pop your hands on your inner thigh, keep control of your tummy, don't let that back arch. Push those hands on the inside of those knees, lengthen those legs apart, breathing in. Breathing out. Bring those knees back together, put the feet back on the floor. Left leg, then the right leg. Push the heels into the floor, lift your back up and move that roller out of the way. Rest that back down on the ground. So just arms by the side, pushing those fingers down towards the heels. Heels in the floor, toes off the ground, breathing in. Lift that tailbone up off the ground, come up into the bridge, pushing through those heels. And then breathing in on the out breath, lower that back one vertebra at a time to the ground. So we just mobilize the back after that. Arch the back at the bottom, breathing in. Flatten the back, breathing out, lift that tailbone up, pushing through the glutes, lift and lead with the pubic bone, push the fingers down to the heels, breathing in. Breathing out, lower that body back down to the ground, stretching that lower back, breathing in, arch the back at the bottom, breathing out, pushing through the heels, pushing that pubic bone up high, breathing in. Breathing out, lower that back all the way down to the ground. Lengthen those legs away, bring those fingers into the sky, chin into the chest and roll yourself all the way up, reaching towards those feet. Roll yourself all the way up, reaching towards those feet. Sit yourself up nice and tall and grab your roller in again and we're going to roll those legs. Okay, bring that roller in. Right, first of all, sitting on it. So rolling through that right buttock. Rolling across, rolling into that left buttock. Rolling around through that left buttock. Rolling on that, we continue on the left, rolling on that left side, the left side of the hip, up into that tensor fasciolata, around, and then rolling over onto that hip flexor. On that left leg. And then on the front of the hip flexor onto the right leg. And then all the way around onto that right hand side of the hip, into the right tensor fasciolata, the top of the iliotibial band attachment. And then all the way back through the top of the glute medius and onto the right side of the bum again. Good. And then move the roller, take the bum off the roller, grab your tennis ball, and just pop that under the right buttock and rolling through that buttock. Rolling through that buttock. Find an area of tension, bring that knee up and down. Bring that knee up and down. Moving the ball just to check we're still on the pressure point. Good. Lengthening that leg out straight, bring it back in. Lengthen out straight, bring it back in. Moving around through that, all that pressure, areas of tension. And then we can move on to the other side. When we feel like we've done that side, rolling through, find, explore first of all. Explore through your buttock, find those areas of tension. When you find a good tender spot, bring that leg up and down. Bring that knee in and out. Good. Explore, keep on moving that ball. Check that we release as many spots as we can. And then pop off that ball and bring that roller back in. We'll just do a quick ease on the glutes and then we'll go down those hamstrings. So just roll through those glutes, one on each side, couple of rolls, and then bring the ball into those hamstrings, all the way down to the back of the knees, all the way into the top of the glutes, top of the hamstrings. Turn those toes towards each other. We get the inner thigh, and then turn those toes outward. Turn both toes to the left, and you can press on that, put the left foot on the right leg so you can get a bit of the inner thigh on the right side. And then we can go all the way around that right leg, back to the back of it, over onto the side, all the way up and down. Just be careful of seams of your trousers, zips, etc. when you're doing this so that you don't bruise your muscles. And then all the way over onto the front of your leg. Through that quad. Turn those toes out so you get the inner thigh on this right leg again. And then turning the toe out on that left leg. Get the inner thigh on your left leg. And then come round to the quads, front of those legs. And turn over onto the side. Making sure you go up into the hip as well. All the way up and down. And then over onto the back of that leg. And then all the way up and down the back of the legs again. Good. Well done. And then move that roller down towards the calf. I feel I haven't done these rollers for a while. So lifting that bum up, rolling through those calf muscles. All the way down. Turn the toes towards each other. Turn them up to the sky. Do just one leg. Turn the toes outward so you get a look across the front side of that calf muscle as well. And then pop your bum down. And we can move that roller out of the way. Okay. So sitting nice and tall on the mat. Breathing in, roll the shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Put the hands on the floor behind. Push that chest forward. Breathing in. Breathing out. Get that torso nice and straight. Soften those knees. Roll your hands on your legs forward, down towards those toes. Bring the tummy to the thighs and then push those knees down to the ground. Stretch, letting that head come all the way down to the floor. Point the toes. Flex the feet. Bring the toes to the nose. Bring yourself up nice and tall. Bring those arms up. Breathing in. And on the out breath, rolling all the way down to flat. All the way down to flat. Taking those hands all the way over the head. Reach and push those fingers away from the toes, breathing in. And on the out breath, bring the hands up to the sky, chin into the chest, and roll yourself all the way back up, reaching all the way down to those feet, getting the movement through that spine. Come up all the way tall, breathing in, arms up straight, lowering that lower back into the floor, rolling all the way back down again. Trying to separate and stretch all those vertebrae. Arms all the way up over the head, stretch under that back, pushing it up to the sky in a kind of fish-esque stretch, lifting the belly up, got the shoulders on the floor, tailbone on the floor, reaching that tummy up high, flattening that back into the floor, breathing in, taking those fingers up to the sky, breathing out, chin into the chest, roll yourself all the way up. Hands on the legs, slide those hands all the way forward towards those feet. All the way down, breathing in, breathing out, sit yourself up nice and tall, put the left hand on the right knee, right hand behind, lift that chest to the sky, turn the tummy button around, making ourselves look over that right shoulder. Come back round to the front, put that right hand on the left knee, left hand behind, lift that chest and turn, looking over that left shoulder. And then come all the way back round to the front. Bring those arms up high, chin into the chest, roll yourself one vertebra at a time, all the way down onto the floor. Take those arms all the way over the head, lift that back up off the ground, pushing the shoulders in the floor, pushing the tailbone down. Stretching through the vertebra, stretching, visualize from the tailbone all the way up, one vertebra at a time through to the shoulders. And then release that back onto the floor, bring that right knee in, bring that left knee in, let that back flatten on the ground, bring the tailbone up, bring the nose to the knees and release. Bring that nose to the knees and release. Hold the right knee in, let that left leg go out straight, pull that right knee all the way up to the shoulder. Stretching those legs apart from each other. Pull that right leg all the way over the body. Push that right arm away. Look over to that right arm. Breathing in. Breathing out. Reach and lengthen. Stretching through those hips. Stretching through that lower back. Breathing in. Breathing out. Roll back onto the back. Pull that knee up in towards the armpit one more time. Pull that left knee up in towards the armpit too. Have both knees up, push the tailbone down, lengthen the body. Let go of that right leg, pull that left knee in, keeping neutral spine so there's a slight lift on my waistband. Ribs are all on the floor. Bring that left knee all the way over the body to the floor, taking that left hand away. Keeping those shoulders down and back, gently turning the head to the left arm, breathing in. Breathing out, extend that left knee away from that left hand, extend that left hip away from that left shoulder, gently turning through that spine. Breathing in, breathing out, release back onto the back, pull that left knee in, pull that right knee in. Pull the nose to the knees, lift the tailbone up off the floor and release. Let that left leg go out straight, pull that right knee in, pull that right knee over the body, pushing that right hand away. Pushing the right knee down to the floor, stretching the right hip away from that right shoulder. Roll over onto that left hand side, take hold of the right foot in the right hand, roll the shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Clench the, draw the core in and bring that pubic bone forward. So your tummy button, pubic bone, breastbone are in a vertical line. Bring that knee behind the body, pushing the hand and the foot away behind you. Stretching. Now push that foot into the hand. Breathing in. Breathing out. Release the push. Lengthen that leg away behind. Pushing. Stretching through that hip flexor, make sure your pubic bone is forward. Release that leg, roll back onto your back, pull that knee up into the body, up in towards the armpit. Take hold of the foot and turn that leg. Putting that foot in, pushing that knee away, bringing the other leg in, helping to turn that leg. Turning that leg, breathing in. And release the foot, release the leg, let it go out straight, take the hands over the head. Breathing in, reach and stretch, let the whole of the back come off the floor, push the tailbone down, push those shoulders down, squeeze those shoulders back and down. Bring those arms up to the sky, bring that left knee into the body, let that back come flat onto the floor. Bring that left knee in, stretching through that hip. Bringing that left knee all the way over the body, onto the floor on the left. Use your breath. Breathing in, breathing out. Let that body release. Use the breath. Push that left hand away. Push that left knee away from the hand. Push the hip away from the shoulder. Using that breath. Roll that body onto that right hand side. Support the head with that underneath arm. Draw in the core, bring the pubic bone, breastbone, tummy button into a line. Bring that knee behind you, taking a foot in the hand. Bring that left knee behind. Feel the stretch in the front of the hip. Now push, and the front of the leg. Now push that foot into the hand, tensing the front of that leg, breathing in. Breathing out, pushing that foot in the hand, breathing in, breathing out, release, lengthen that body, that foot away behind you. And then release, roll yourself back onto your back. Pull that knee in towards the armpit and turn that foot around. Bring that right knee in, pushing that left knee away, pushing that right foot, that foot towards. Left foot towards, left knee away, using the right leg, pushing with that left hand on that knee, breathing in, breathing out, release that right leg, release the left foot, let that left leg go out straight, take those arms all the way over the head, reaching and stretching, breathing in. On the out breath, hands up to the sky, chin into the chest, roll yourself all the way up to sitting. Reaching forwards down those legs, bending those knees a bit, coming all the way down, let that head come down, push those knees down to the ground and sit yourself all the way up straight. Hands on the floor, spin those legs around and come up onto all fours. Coming onto all fours. So hands on the floor or knuckles on the floor. I've got a bit of a sore right wrist, so I'm going to have my knuckles. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Lengthen the head away from the tailbone. Turn the tailbone and the head up to the sky. Let the tummy sink down. Stretch through the front of the body. Turn that tailbone down. Let the eyes drop down and let that back lift up. Lead with the pelvis. Turn the tailbone up. Let the tummy sink down. Bring those eyes up. Breathing in and on the out breath, turn that tailbone the other way and lift that back up, eyes come down. Turn the toes over. Having these hands or fists on the floor, lift those knees up off the ground and come up into the down dog position. So soft knees, balls of the feet a few centimeters apart, heels are double the distance. Knees are soft. Pulling that tummy button down to the thighs, pulling the armpits down to the toes, pushing that right heel down and straighten that right leg. Make sure that right knee is pointing to the right hand. Release that knee, push that left heel down, make sure that left knee is pointing to the left hand. Release, push both heels down, make sure each knee is pointing to the appropriate hand. Armpits down towards those toes. Lift that left leg up in the sky behind, bend that knee, lift the knee up, drop the foot down, stretch through that psoas. And then swing that left foot through in between your hands. Lengthen that right leg out behind, bring that chin up, pull this left knee out to the side so the flesh of the belly can stretch. Release that hip flexor, let that stretch go through that groin, and drop that back knee to the floor, keeping the toes as they are. Lift yourself up onto this knee and this foot. Take this right hand up into the sky, breathing in. On the out breath, reach that arm straight up. Pull that pubic bone forward and enhance the stretch through the hip flexor, breathing in. Breathing out, pull and increase the tension in that right leg and pull that knee as if it's coming forward without moving it. And then release the tension and stretch that right arm up into the sky. Release that hand. Come down one hand either side of this front leg and glide that bum backwards, straighten this front leg, point the toe. Flex the foot, point the toe. Flex the foot. Relax the foot. Move those hands round to the right. Let the bum slide left. Stretch, pulling the tummy button to the floor. Try to push the tailbone up and increase the hamstring length. Walk those hands around to the other side of that leg. Breathing in, breathing out. Come back to the front, bend that front knee, walk those hands forward a bit and slide that left foot across to the right hand. Lengthen that back leg away and lower yourself down into the pigeon. Lengthening that back leg away, hold on to this front foot. Breathing in. Lower yourself down over that front leg. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Lengthen that back leg away. Walk those hands back towards this front leg. One hand on the foot, one hand on the knee. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Lengthen that leg. Breathing in. Push those knees into the floor. Take the hands away and push them behind. Breathing in. Breathing out. Release those hands, put them back on the ground and slide them forward, stretching through that glute. Breathing in. Breathing out. Walk those hands back towards this front leg. One hand either side of the knee and the foot. Turn the back toe over, lift the back knee up off the floor. Push that bum up into the air and bring that left foot back next to the right foot. Pushing that right heel down. Pushing that left heel down. Pushing that right heel, push the left heel as well. Make sure those knees are pointing to the feet. The knees are pointing to the hands. Armpits to the toes, tummy button to the thigh. Bring that right leg up in the air. Bend that right knee. Lift the knee up, drop the foot down, stretch through the psoas. And then swing that right foot through between those hands. Lengthen that left leg behind, pull the right knee out to the side so the flesh can drop on the inside. Push that head up, chest forward. Push that left heel away from you, breathing in. Breathing out, drop that back knee to the floor, keeping the toes as they are. Feel that stretch in the hip flexor. Push the pubic bone forward towards that front foot. Take those hands off the floor. Bring that left hand all the way up into the sky. Left hand all the way up into the sky. Pulling the pubic bone forward, increase that stretch. Pull this left knee forward towards this right foot without actually moving it. Release the tension. Push that left hand higher, push that left knee down. Breathing in, breathing out, release that arm. One hand either side of this front foot. Slide that bum backwards, straighten that front leg. Breathing in, breathing out. Point the toe, flex the foot. Point the toe, flex the foot. Relax that leg, that foot rather. Slide those hands round towards the left, pushing the tailbone away. Slide those hands all the way around towards the right. Bringing that tummy button onto the thigh, increasing that stretch. Bring those hands back round to the front. Put that foot back on the floor. Glide the body forward a bit and walk that right foot across to the left hand. Lower the right knee down to the floor. And then come into the pigeon. Pushing that left foot away, breathing in. And on the out breath, lower down onto your tummy on the ground. Lengthen those arms away if you want. Breathing in. Breathing out. Walk those hands back towards this front leg. Lift that upper body up. Lengthening that left leg away. Pull those shoulders up to the ears, back and down. Push both knees in the floor. Take the hands off the floor. Push them away behind. Breathing in. Breathing out. Lengthen that left leg away. Hands on the ground. And lower yourself all the way down to flat. Breathing in. Breathing out. Walk those hands back towards this front leg. Turn those back toes over. Lift that back knee off the floor. Push that bum up into the air and bring that right leg in next to the left leg. Feet should be 1 centimetre apart, balls of the feet, heels are double the distance. Soften those knees, tummy button to the thighs, armpits to the toes, and then push that right knee back, push that left knee. Keep both knees back. Make sure those knees are pointing to the appropriate hand. Lengthen the tailbone up to the sky. Bring the armpits down towards the toes. Breathing in. Breathing out. Bend those knees, lower them down to the ground. Coming onto all fours. Turn the tailbone down, arch the back up. Bring the eyes to the knees. Turn the tailbone up. Belly to the floor, eyes to the sky. Come into neutral, turn the toes over and glide backwards over those heels. Stretch those hands away in front, keeping neutral spine. Walk those hands to the left-hand side of the mat. Trying to keep neutral spine, so spreading those buttocks, pulling the knees apart on the mat, stretching that right side. Walk those hands to the right-hand side of the mat, again, keeping neutral spine. Breathing in, pushing that left hand away, breathing out. Stretching that left side, coming back into the middle with those hands. Come all the way back up onto all fours, breathing in. Breathing out, walk those knees forwards and sit yourself down on the mat, popping those legs out in front of you. Put those hands on the floor behind. Point those toes. Flex those feet, roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back, lift that chest up high, breathing in. Resting on those seat bones, bringing those arms all the way up into the sky. Bring those arms all the way out wide, dust the floor, pull the knees into the ground, pull the toes to the nose, lift up the chest, bring those arms up to the sky. Breathing in, hands together. Breathing out, pushing the chest up. Breathing in. Reaching those hands up, taking the eyes up to the sky, release those arms, rest them on your legs and roll your shoulders. Well done. Good job. So I don't know if you noticed how much stiffer you might have been from not having done just for a week.